Blessings, beloved. I'm so excited to be sharing something with you today. And my name is Jennifer Shira, and I am the founder of Light Priestess Temple Global Brand and Community. And I am the Light Code Activator, coach, and channel. And what's been coming in is just these next level shifts and changes. It just keeps rising and rising and rising. Have you been feeling it? I mean, just the solar flares, the Schumann resonance, our own inner ascension. I call it ascension. That's happening. And this is opening up these new levels within us, these new codes, these new frequencies. And this portal that's opening now, that's opening on the planet. What if true wealth could begin in this moment? What if you hold the codes for your liberation, for yourself, for your family, and for your lineage? Well, that's what I'm going to share with you today, is that you do hold the codes for your liberation. You do hold the codes of your wealth. You do hold your true abundance, your power, your prosperity, and the frequency. It's not outside, it's within you. And this is what's opening in this new earth, is the new earth wealth codes. And I'm going to be sharing with you about this, not just a training, but this quantum leap, this next level portal that's coming in for you now, that's opening, that is the next level quantum field of possibilities, this golden source, divine, dimensional realm that's not outside of you, it's within you, and it just needs to be activated. Light codes, wisdoms, remembrance, overflowing, prosperity, magnetic radiance, stepping into a life where you magnetize what you want, you radiate what you want, you send out the frequencies, and it just returns and comes in, opening you to who you truly are. And this is the portal that's opening. When I was starting my clothing business, a lot of you know I had a clothing business that I built from $100 to 7 figures, and didn't know what I was doing. And one of my coaches calls it ignorance on fire, and that was me. I had no idea, but I just kept going. I just never gave up. And when I was starting out, I remember driving up to my ATM, and I needed money for gas in my car. I was driving a really beat up old car, and I went to the ATM, and there was $11.13 in the ATM, and you can't withdraw it. You have to have at least $20. And I was living at my grandmother's house, and I had a dream, and I was making patterns for my clothing business, and I was in those beginning stages, and I couldn't put gas in my car, and I couldn't pay rent. I had to live with family. And I don't know if you've ever been in that place when it's just like the spiral of like, why? I have this dream, and why is everything against me? I can't even put gas in my car. And I felt just broken inside. You know, like, God, what, you give me these dreams, you give me these ideas, you give me this vision, and then I can't even do the basic things in life. And I drove back to my grandmother's house. Luckily, she lived only a couple blocks away, but I could feel that flooding within me. And I made a promise to myself that I would never, ever be in a position where I couldn't put gas in my car, where I'd need to live with people, where I'd need to borrow money. I saw that in my family. They made money, they lost money. There was nothing at the end, no inheritance, no legacy. And so if you've been feeling like, I just want to go to my next level, and it's just something's blocking you, or something's been stopping or limiting your moving to where you want to know you were meant to be, the gifts and the work and the impact that you want to make, I want to invite you into Magical Money Goddess, the New Earth Wealth Codes training. And when this came in, I started to feel, I've always been curious. I read my first Napoleon Hill book at 25. I went to college near a really wealthy area called Bel Air in Los Angeles. And the homes, like the gates to the homes was like 2 stories. And they have the most beautiful walls that surround their houses and perfect hedges. It's like, what do those people do that I'm not doing? And then there's people that had wealth and radiance, and they had both, like maybe physical wealth and happiness and fulfilled. And I was always just so hard on myself and pushing myself. Even had an ulcer in my senior year in high school, worrying about asking a boy to a dance where the girls had to ask, and I got myself into such a state. I literally had an ulcer because I worried and worried and worried. And that's just how I was wired. And I didn't know how to get out of that spiral. And so I don't come from wealth. I don't come from, yeah, I just know it all. I came from doing it the hard way, where my body started to break down and I started to be told I needed to have surgeries and I needed to take a break. And so when this came in, I started to sense there was something opening. And I was in a coaching session with my womb coach. And she's like, yeah, let's really tune into this. And so we tuned in and she's like, yeah, the Organic Wealth Codex. And it just, she's like, yes, you are the holder of this. And this is opening now. And you are to open this on the planet for all of humanity. This is now here again. This royal line of wealth, this royal line that was held in the highest civilizations, the kings and queens, passed down from Yeshua to Mary Magdalene, the house of David, King Solomon, the solar Egyptian pharaonic line, back through Lemuria, Atlantis, and back to source. These are the divine source frequency codes, the God codes of wealth, abundance, love, true power. And I felt it welling up in me. And I felt this energy when she said that. And it just started to come in. I started journaling. I took myself to a great place and I started to deepen into, I went to a monastery near about an hour from where I live. And the land was so sacred and just radiating this incredible frequency. And I started to download and channel. And then about a week later, I was going to sleep. And I got hot and I took off my sweatshirt and my toes started, like you're really sleeping, you're ready to go to sleep. And then your body is like, you had caffeine, you had chocolate. And I'm like, did I have coffee? Did I eat some chocolate too late? I'm like, what? Why are my toes? Like everything's like starting to rev. I'm like, no, body, I'm going to sleep, no revving. And so I'm like, oh, I better just get up, And so I was in my dark bedroom and I saw this vision. I saw a vision of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene on their last night before he was taken, when he was on this earth, before he was taken by the Roman soldiers at Gethsemane that next day. And they had their last night together in union. And I saw in the moment of ecstasy, from his crown, he transferred her and transmitted to her sacred codes. And it was a beautiful, I saw it as clear as day, a royal blue glowing sacred geometry in a roundish shape, but it had so much frequency and encoding within it. And he passed it from his crown into Mary Magdalene for her to now be the carrier of the royal line that he held. He held the sacred lineage. He held these codes. And some have called this the blue rose, that he gave Mary Magdalene a rose on his last day. And the true story is it's a frequency and it's a codex. And he transferred that to Mary Magdalene and she walked with that and she was the carrier of the sacred royal lineage of wealth for the planet, for this galaxy, for this universe, for this dimensional realm. And when he passed it to Mary Magdalene, he passed it to all of us. And so this is where it started from. I don't come from money. I don't, I had $11 in my bank account trying to start my clothing business. And then this came in. And this is what's opening. This codex, this royal lineage, and this is Magical Money Goddess. This is not just a training. This is your portal to the next level of where you are going. This is this frequency. Magical Money Goddess. This is the woman, stepping into the woman that you're becoming, this next level of your soul's incarnation, your sacred work, your life. This is what's now being required, this new level, so you can become the woman you're meant to be, your voice, your breath, your embodiment. We will be led by the divine. This is wealth retemplating your body. This is, you'll be walking with a sisterhood, knowing you're bigger than you see yourself, a sisterhood that holds you as you grow and you step into your true wealth. This is true wealth. This is organic wealth. This is wealth as your natural state. This is wealth as remembrance. This is wealth as frequency and abundance as your living transmission. We will be doing collective and individual activations in this new wealth codes. You'll be receiving this next level of the light code activations from the guardians of this, the three lineages, the Venusian lineage of Aphrodite, the Egyptian lineage of Goddess Isis, and the Christic lineage held by Mary Magdalene. Each day, it's a 3-day training. Day 1 is release and recode. You'll be recoding and releasing what no longer serves you, limiting beliefs, karmic patterns, ancestral lineage, wounds, and traumas that have been holding you back. So many of us have things that, why does this keep happening? Why am I not in this next level? Why can I barely pay my rent? Why do I keep doubting myself? Why do I only hit that level of income in my life? Why am I not with my beloved? Why am I alone? Why am my health just isn't where I want it to be, my weight? I don't have that radiance that I used to have. Reclaim your wealth, reclaim your abundance, reclaim your divine power. And these are the codes that are going to be opening. And it's not just, it's the light codes that are, the guardians are going to be, you'll be receiving a code activation each day. Day 1 is release and recode. You'll be experiencing incredible embodiment practices to rewire your nervous system, which is the bridge of all your frequencies and your energies, is the nervous system. The nervous system is taking us from carbon, from where we are now, to our light bodies, where we are going in this higher frequency of our ascension for humanity, for our line, and for ourself. And so Magical Money Goddess is this next level of the new wealth codex, passed down through the royal lineages that it's opening now, will be opening within our training. Not just a training, it's a earth-shattering, timeline-shifting, quantum upgrade, soul code activation training course, embodiment, immersion, initiation, activation into who you truly are and the woman that you know you're meant to be. And so many of us, we just have those blocks, like this voice, like, oh, this sounds so great, but, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I've done those core. Oh, I've done that. And what I hear, what I see when I have those voices in my head, it's the subconscious mind, which is your emotional body. And then you have your conscious mind, which is your logical mind. So I'm like, oh, yes, yes, yes. I want to step into this. I'm so ready. And then it's like, what do you think you're doing? Yeah. You can't invest in yourself. Like, remember you did that before and like you didn't even open the manual. You went to one and nothing happened, nothing worked, and it was like flat and you failed. Subconscious mind is 99.4% of your reality, and the conscious mind is 0.6, the logical mind. Yes, we need it, but are you going to let it control you? I let mine control me for most of my life. That nervousness, that anxiety, that self-doubt, that talk, that mean girl talk. Like when I was going to that dance in high school and I wanted to ask this boy to the dance, and I asked him and I gave myself an ulcer out of just the worry and the internal voice. Like, he's not going to want to go with you. There's prettier girls than you. There's better girls than you. Like, who do you think you are? I let that run me. The subconscious mind, your body, we're going to be opening up the capacity in your body. So your body is wired to hold true wealth, true abundance, and true power. You're not just going to leave here like, wow, that was great. And then that positive reinforcement loop. Oh, you come in and each day of the training and we're dancing and we're connecting and we're activating our highest selves and our truest wisdoms. And then it's like, go home, negative feedback loop. No, we're going to have accountability Trinity groups. We're going to have Facebook group. We have your manual. We're going to have those codes. When you receive the light codes, they transform you in permanent upgrades, permanent transformation. That's what I see in Light Priestess Temple. I get Jennifer, I get emails in my inbox. I did it. I'm now stepping in. I received new codexes. I received new connection to my angels and my guides, a whole new dimensional realm, and my offerings have upgraded. I'm now offering my sacred work full time. I've dropped my corporate job and I bought the new house. I have the new love. We got engaged. We're getting married. I want you to come to the wedding. I just see these in my inbox. I broke through. One woman sharing, I went to 20 trainings until I met you. I never broke through. I never saw one situation change. I never saw one transformation. And this is what I hear when they come into code activations, proven strategies that work, and embodied sacred practices. And that is what you'll be experiencing in Magical Money Goddess. You'll be receiving the sacred temple practices of the embodied, wealthiest, most fulfilled New Earth women that passed from the royal temples, the royal lineages, the secret wisdoms, with the light code activations, with proven strategies that I have earned and cultivated, creating seven-figure businesses and seven-figure wealth. Wealth. Money staying in your account after everything's paid. Wealth in your heart where you can just give. You can write 5-figure checks to your favorite charity. My mom actually my sister contacted me. That she's like, Jennifer, Mom, she needs some help. She can't pay this one thing that she has, and she wanted to, I can't do it all myself. Can you help? And it's this much money, and I'm going to pay 1,000. Can you pay this? And then maybe someone else can pay the rest. And I said, no, I'll just pay all of the rest. That's fine. And I could tell her voice was really nervous because she was like, I can't pay it all. Can you help out and pay some? I'm like, I'll pay all of it. That's fine. And she was like, wow, that's so generous. She was so ready to have all her comebacks. Have you had conversations like that? And I wrote my mom a check. Actually, I gave my mom cash, actually. I just went to the bank and took it out and gave my mom cash so she didn't have to even deposit the check. Because when you live from wealth, you live from abundance, you can help your family. You can help your loved ones. You can help yourself. I was once told a sinking ship can't save anybody. And so if you can rise your ship, you can help. This is how you liberate yourself, your family, and your lineage. And that negative self-talk, how long are you going to let that run your life, if it is? Because this is opening to that next level. I can't do it. I've done this before. You've never done this. These codes have not been open to be received as they are now. And you're going to be a beacon of that to help ripple that out to the planet. If you're watching this, you are a creatrix of the new earth. You are a way shower and a guide, and you are a beacon of these new codes that are coming in now that are liberating humanity, liberating your lineage, and liberating yourself. And this is the offer that's in front of you right now. And then sometimes I hear, oh, I don't have the money. I can't do this. I need to work. I need to go do something. I have prior commitments. And when I hear I don't have money, I don't have time, I don't have that openness to step into who I truly am, I'm too committed. How long do you want to keep that pattern playing? Like those grooves I talked about, you get so ingrained. We do it for so long, it becomes so ingrained in our neural pathways that we don't know any different. We just keep like that tractor in the mud, like it gets deeper, those grooves, and you just can't get out. It can just run on its own, like those trains on the train tracks. It doesn't go here and there. It follows the train tracks. What train tracks have been running your life? What train are you on? And how long do you want to say, oh, I just don't have it? Like your family member comes to you and I need some financial help. And you're like, oh, I'm just covering my rent this month. I can't help. Okay. So what if I had said that to my sister and she'd be like, okay, so our mom doesn't get the help. In the time, what if you could learn how to expand your time and to create such abundance and such incredible flow and magnetic attraction? It's no longer a manifestation. Resonance is replacing manifestation. If you could be that resonant field, that frequency of wealth and abundance and power and overflowing prosperity, your birthright, and hire people to do what you don't have time for, to create that time and that space, because you don't have to do everything anymore. You can just focus on one or two things. You don't have to do 10,000 jobs. I remember in my clothing business, I was like running 10 hats. I was mother, father, bookkeeper, designer, creator, website builder, phone answerer. I used to eat my lunch at my desk so I didn't miss a phone call, because our busy time was 8 a.m. to 12 noon. And if I needed to eat lunch, I'd eat at my desk. And I remember having to dump out my keyboard because of the crumbs in my keyboard, because I didn't give myself 20 minutes, half an hour to sit out in the sun and have lunch. It's like, come on, there's no time, because I wasn't operating in these new codes, this new frequency. The planet has quantum shift. The new dimensional realm is here. You can either stay in the old frequency or step into the new. You can let your fear run you, or you can step into who you truly are. And comes down to two fears: fear of being not enough and fear of not being loved. And I remember when I was standing in my office of my clothing business, creating one of my lines, my clothing lines. Usually I worked every weekend from Memorial Day to 4th of July to create the new line. And then we'd have our photo shoot around 4th of July every year. Not only working 6.5 days a week, but now I get to work weekends, because that's when it's quiet and I can be in the flow and I can design and I can create. And I heard this voice that said, this is your last year, enjoy it. And it was my soul calling me to step into what I'd always been praying for, a higher consciousness way of being, a life that's full, where I'm not in an industry that's based in fear and bartering and haggling and undercutting prices, and it's always like the lowest denominator of frequency. I wanted something higher, better. I didn't know what it was. And I stepped off the curb and walked away from everything I knew to step into the unknown, which was my soul calling. Was I scared? Yeah, I didn't have a parallel move. I didn't know where any money was going to come from. I didn't feel I was enough. I was good at what I did. I created an incredibly successful clothing business. I love designing. I love creating fashion. I always will love that. And then I was loved by my customers, by my staff, by this energy that came back to me from all the happy customers and what I created in the world. And if I step over here, I'm not going to be enough and I won't have love. But I didn't let that fear, I put that fear in the back seat. My biggest desire was to be happy and fulfilled and not be in this hamster trail any longer. And so I stepped off that curb into the unknown. And it took 6 years of nothingness. I didn't have the next thing come in. I didn't have money coming in. I had built wealth. I'd built financial freedom. But I didn't have fulfillment. And that soul, like when you're so fulfilled, you know what I mean? This is what I was craving. This is what I walked into. And as it built, and as I started to receive my gifts, I opened my body. I started to go to classes and take time for myself and slow down. I started to open to who I truly was, which now has become an incredible life of working where I want to work in the world. I've lived in different countries for over 9 years, meeting and working with the most incredible women and divine feminine leaders and sacred sites and portals on this planet. I never would have had. I was so locked into a life of drudgery before with my clothing business. And so I want to invite you to join with me in Magical Money Goddess, to step through your fears, to step through your doubts, to step through your confusion or lack of clarity, lack of confidence. What is one thing that, just like, if I could just get through that, if I could just heal that, if I could just go from confident to unconfident to confident, if I go from doubt into clarity, if I could go from confusion into crystal clear laser focus. What is the one thing, if I could go from being alone to having a sisterhood, having a connection, a community of inspired, devoted starseeds, light workers, priestesses that I can walk with, that I can connect with. And if this is a yes for you, and this is something you're wanting in your life, I invite you to walk with us in Magical Money Goddess. The New Earth Wealth Codes training, we begin May 31st. This is a 3-day training. Unlock your true power, your true wealth, and your true abundance. This is the remembrance. This is the opening of the new royal lineage, the new royal codes that have been passed down through time from Source, from Yeshua to Magdalene. This is the Magdalene line of wealth. And step into your birthright, wealth as frequency, relaxed wealth. Just imagine your life where you have effortless wealth coming in. You magnetize clients. You break through the blocks. You have such a good relationship with wealth and money. How is your relationship with wealth and money as a kid? Did you hear like me? Money doesn't grow on trees. Who do you think you are? Money is evil. Money is the root of all that's bad. Money is a frequency. Wealth is a frequency. And if you treat her like the goddess that she is and the goddess that you are, you'll be amazed at what comes in. Just imagine your life walking through the rooms, walking in your life, in your car, on your Zoom calls, with your children as the magical money goddess that attracts, magnetizes, and multiplies. And I invite you to join me in this incredible next level experience. And what you'll be getting, and I want to share with you. Just going to move myself over. And what you'll be receiving is just next level. 3 wealth code light activations. You'll be experiencing the guardians that I shared about. These are the 3 lineages that hold the wealth codes that have to be dispensating this for humanity to receive these again. And you'll be connecting and working and receiving from Aphrodite, the Venusian lineage, Goddess Isis, the Egyptian lineage of wealth, and Mary Magdalene, the Christic lineage of wealth. And with this trinity, you'll be receiving the new codes, the wealth codes for New Earth, unlocking your true wealth, your power, your abundance. This is the portal of this next level. You receive the 7 organic wealth codexes of the royal lineages of Source. This is God zone. This is the God divine source codes held in the highest royal lineages, kings and queens, and temples across this planet through the highest civilizations. And now it is reactivating. This is the secret that's opening now for you here in Magical Money Goddess. You will retemplate, rewire your system with nervous system resonance practices, not regulation practices. We're resonating, where resonance is now replacing manifestation. You will be that. You will become it. To hold more capacity for true wealth, abundance, and power. It's all about capacity. Wealth is held within your body. Your body holds the codes. And if you're not where you want to be right now, we need to expand and open your capacity. And so we'll be opening your capacity. Are you ready to open your capacity for true wealth, abundance, and power? You'll be receiving the practices and the embodied ways of the most fulfilled, wealthiest women of New Earth. This is opening up don't you want to receive like what the women and the wealthiest lineages have been practicing over time? You'll be receiving these practices within Magical Money Goddess. It's just priceless. A lot of times you'll see this and you'll have prices at the right. Everything I'm sharing is priceless. There's nothing you can put a price to in any of this. So this is just the most priceless training I've ever seen. You'll clear, release, and recode any limiting beliefs, patterns holding you back from your birthright of wealth, abundance. You'll have light body and energy center clearings, karmic repattering practices. You'll be going into every field, every body. You'll be clearing at the deepest root level of anything that could be holding you back. So then what can emerge and birth is your true wealth, your true abundance, and your true power. You'll be receiving your wealth codes blueprint. This is your divine roadmap, your North Star, and I'll show you how to go from where you are now to where you want to be. This is organic wealth. This is not you learn something and then you go home and you're like, yeah, that was great. Can't apply this. This is about you'll be implementing this within our training. You'll be practicing, connecting and sharing and learning and expanding through your blueprint that you will leave Magical Money Goddess with your roadmap for exactly every inspired bold action and step that you'll be taking. And what's even more amazing is you'll receive a bonus, a free one-on-one private wealth codes coaching session with me. This does have a value. It's a 30-minute session. Value is $333 for 1 hour. I'm over almost $700 an hour for a session. So what you're getting is customized just for you to unlock your codes of true wealth, love, power, and abundance. What are you wanting to open? What are you calling in? I just had a few sessions already, and we've broken through past life blocks that have lasted for so many generations and so many lives and incarnations, and they were just released, dissolved. And the sisters are like, oh my gosh, I can build my empire now. I can have this vision I've had. And in the same moment, it's like, it's just effortless. When it comes, it comes. I'm that resonant field. The breakthroughs I've already seen in these bonus sessions, you can sign up and book your session the next day. We can get started unlocking your wealth, power, and abundance and then anchor your wealth codes today. And you'll receive sacred embodied practices, feminine frequency. This is the new feminine frequency energetics. This is wealth through your body, embodied, not doing, hustle, burnout, exhaustion. That's the old paradigm, and that's dissolving. That no longer works, actually. This is true reclamation rights of wealth from the ancient temples and royal lineages for every area of your life, and this is priceless. And then you'll receive a Trinity accountability group. You'll be paired 3 sisters for beyond the training. So wouldn't you like to be held accountable to have a support system? So this is beyond Magical Money Goddess. You can connect, share, have calls, share what you're going through, share what is exciting, celebrate, dance, connect, and be seen, and feel a connection like you've never felt before. These are inspired, devoted creators of the new earth. You can walk with your soul family. You also receive the Magical Money Goddess Woe Manual, which is your soul worksheets, journal prompts, practices, transmissions, and teachings. This is your manual that you can be writing your hopes, dreams, and what you'll be learning, and your aha moment after aha moment from the training, and the private Facebook group, Sovereign Sisterhood, connection, support, sharing, collabs, dancing, and sacred community. This is where you will be meeting, like, do you want to have next level offerings? Do you want to increase 2x, 3x, 4x your wealth? This is what happens when you're in Magical Money Goddess. You meet your next collab partner. You meet your next client. You meet your next long-term friend, beautiful sister. And this is what happens in Magical Money Goddess. These are the amazing gifts that you're going to be receiving. And we have the early VIP price right now. It ends on Monday. If you're seeing this now, you want to step in. We added 10 more spots to the early VIP because we needed to have more. And so grab yours and step into the circle of who you truly are. Magical Money Goddess is unlocking the wealth, abundance, power, love, frequency codes of the highest royal lineages for New Earth. Are you a yes to claiming your birthright and stepping into who you truly are? I can't wait to walk with you. I can't wait to see your rise, your opening, your frequency, your dreams, your joys, your triumphs, your visions that will come in, your expansion that we'll be witnessing, where you'll go from who you are now to who you want to be. This is expansion and growth beyond anything that you've ever experienced. This is beyond miracles. If you want a legendary life, take legendary actions and make legendary choices. I invite you to step into the circle and claim your birthright. I challenge you to step into who you truly are, to not be the athlete who doesn't compete, to not live the life where you're the artist who didn't create art, where you're the writer who didn't write, or you're the healer who didn't share your healing gifts. What will your legacy be for your life, for this planet, for your family, for your lineage? What if you could change it in a moment and step into who you truly are and your true wealth, your abundance, and your power, unlocking who you truly are and claiming your birthright? Wealth as your frequency and abundance as your transmission. This is relaxed wealth, effortless wealth, with sisterhood and accountability groups and connection and love and community. There's a calling on your life, and there are gifts and mission and purpose that you are here to step forward and be and do and become. And I invite you to step into who you truly are and that calling on your life, because there are people lined up waiting for your next level breakthrough, your next level transformation, so they can have theirs. For your book, your next course, your song, your piece of art, that will open them to their bigger soul gifts, their bigger expansion, and their next breakthrough. And what if they never received that because you chose not to be a part of Magical Money Goddess, the New Earth Wealth Codes training, and made a different choice? And what if I had never walked off that curb into the unknown and I was still in my clothing business, making clothing, and not walking my soul purpose and my true mission in life? And will you let fear tell you what to do, or will you tell fear what to do? And I invite you to step into the circle, register now, and become the woman you know you're meant to be. And share with the world your gifts, your wisdoms, your magnetic radiance as the Magical Money Goddess of New Earth. I send you so much love, and I can't wait to see you and walk with you and witness your growth, your expansion, your celebration. And we'll be dancing and celebrating and honoring the woman that you have become. And I send you so much love and blessings, and I will see you there in Magical Money Goddess, the New Earth Wealth Codes training, for the new golden age. Much love.